During the past summer, I encountered an elderly acquaintance at a park in New Jersey who, at 62, remained an enthusiastic gardener yet struggled noticeably when stooping to retrieve a light watering can. He chuckled dismissively, attributing the difficulty to mere old age. But beneath his casual demeanor, I discerned a deep-seated anxiety in his expression. It is the identical apprehension many of us experience once we pass 50 and realize our musculature no longer responds with its former vigor. The reality is that this condition is not simply aging, but rather your body silently shedding muscle mass, a progression that can eventually steal away your strength, equilibrium, and personal autonomy. The alarming aspect is that you might remain oblivious until routine activities like ascending a staircase, hauling groceries, or even rising from a seated position begin to feel increasingly arduous. However, there is encouraging news because the solution does not always lie in consuming more meat, eggs, or pricey dietary supplements. There exists a solitary, unassuming nut, readily available in small shops in Mumbai or sprawling supermarkets in Texas, Walnuts, that functions as a quiet rescuer for individuals over the age of 50. Merely a small handful, consumed daily, can furnish your muscles with essential proteins, minerals, and consistent energy. Achieving this without the digestive discomfort often associated with dense animal proteins. Today, I intend to reveal the identity of this nut, explain why researchers classify it as a complete protein source for seniors, and demonstrate how to integrate it seamlessly into your everyday regimen. Before proceeding further, I would be delighted to hear from you concerning your current location while viewing this video and the local time there. Please leave a comment below as I eagerly anticipate reviewing your responses. And if you find value in this video, kindly press the subscribe button, or if not, a simple like will significantly assist this channel's expansion. As we traverse beyond the age of 60, the human body commences transmitting signals that the majority of us misinterpret as merely the inevitable process of getting older. You might perceive your legs feeling heavier when navigating stairs, or observe that standing up from a low sofa demands considerably more exertion than it did previously. What is silently transpiring internally is a biological phenomenon scientists refer to as anabolic resistance. This condition is the gradual diminution of the body's capacity to construct and sustain muscle tissue. Even when you are consuming what appears to be an adequate quantity of dietary protein. During younger years, the human frame reacts efficiently to relatively smaller portions of protein, with the standard recommendation at age 40 being roughly 0.8 grams for every kilogram of body weight. However, after passing 60, that requirement escalates significantly to approximately 1.2 to 1.6 grams per kilogram. To maintain the same physiological function. While it may not appear to be a drastic alteration on paper, the practical difference for your metabolism is profound. Consider the illustration of a man in the United States weighing 150 pounds who at age 40 would require roughly 55 grams of protein daily. Upon reaching 60, that same individual may need anywhere from 82 to 109 grams just to preserve his existing muscle strength, which is nearly a twofold increase. Unfortunately, the vast majority of people never realize this metabolic shift has occurred until significant strength has already been lost. In India, the challenge presents differently but is equally troubling. As a grandmother subsisting mainly on rice, lentils, and vegetables may believe her diet is wholesome, yet without additional protein sources, her body slowly erodes muscle despite her careful eating. The clinical designation for this erosion of muscle mass is sarcopenia, a condition that affects nearly 1 out of every 4 older adults globally. Sarcopenia is not merely about appearing frailer or thinner. It directly influences your ability to maintain independence. When you experience unsteadiness while climbing stairs, when hoisting grocery bags feels like an overwhelming burden, or when you hesitate to sit in a low chair, doubting your ability to rise again, these are critical warning signs. They are not unavoidable consequences of the aging process, but rather indicators that your muscles are lacking the necessary components to flourish. It can feel disheartening and even frightening to realize your body is demanding more sustenance at a life stage when eating less often feels more natural. Many older adults silently harbor this worry but rarely voice it, fearing they will appear feeble or demanding to those around them. Yet there is substantial hope to be found in understanding this biological reality. Once you comprehend the mechanics of anabolic resistance, you can implement small yet highly effective strategies to counteract its effects. Begin by distributing your protein consumption evenly throughout the entire day, rather than depending solely on one substantial portion during the evening meal. Aim to incorporate a reliable source of protein at breakfast, lunch, and dinner to optimize muscle synthesis. This might involve adding Greek yogurt or eggs to your morning routine in the US. While in India, it could mean enriching lentils with extra pulses, adding paneer to curries, and including a small serving of peanuts in the evening. The central message to internalize is that losing muscle mass past age 60 is not just old age, but a signal that your body requires significantly more protein than it once did. By making deliberate dietary choices, selecting appropriate foods, consuming them consistently, and identifying the symptoms early, you can safeguard your strength, balance, and autonomy. Growing older does not mean relinquishing control over your physical self. It means discovering novel ways to nourish your body, so it can continue supporting you with confidence. When it comes to defending muscle integrity and energy levels post-60, not all food sources are created equal. Some options provide protein but offer little else, whereas others deliver a comprehensive package of nutrients that functions synergistically like a natural apothecary. Among the superior selections available, 5 specific nuts are prominent: peanuts, almonds, pistachios, cashews, and walnuts. Each of these possesses a unique history, distinct advantages, and specific methods for integration into daily life. Whether in the United States or India, let us commence with peanuts, the unassuming legume often disregarded due to its inexpensive market price. An ounce of peanuts yields approximately 7.3 grams of protein, which is a higher quantity than any other commonly consumed nut. This is significant for seniors needing increased daily protein to combat muscle erosion. And peanuts also contain niacin and folate, which support brain function and circulation essential for vitality. Whether enjoyed as peanut butter on whole grain toast in the US or stirred into savory dishes in India, peanuts are affordable, portable, and potent, making them an unsung hero for seniors globally. Next, consider almonds, which deliver 6 grams of protein per ounce and shine due to their remarkable vitamin E content. Vitamin E functions as an antioxidant, defending muscle cells against daily degradation, while simultaneously promoting cardiovascular health and resilient skin. Many older adults worry about declining energy and skin vitality as they age, yet almonds quietly supply both support and defense. From being sprinkled over oatmeal in American breakfasts to being blended into warm drinks during Indian festivals, almonds remind us that food can be both delectable and medicinal simultaneously. Pistachios deserve particular recognition because they are classified as a complete protein source. This signifies that they contain all 9 essential amino acids, the fundamental building blocks your body is incapable of synthesizing independently. On scales measuring protein quality, roasted pistachios score impressively high, which is extremely valuable for seniors striving to maintain muscle mass. Pistachios also provide potassium, which aids in preventing muscle cramping and supports healthy circulation. Whether eaten as an easy afternoon snack in the US or used as a traditional garnish in India, you are fueling your muscles with high-quality protein that rivals animal products. Cashews bring their own distinct set of strengths to the table, offering slightly less protein but an invaluable mineral profile. They are particularly rich in zinc, a nutrient that supports immune health and assists the body in repairing and growing muscle tissue. Seniors often feel increased vulnerability to illness, and zinc quietly enhances resilience while also supporting healthy hair and skin. Cashews prove that sometimes the softer, creamier nut can be just as robust functionally as the harder varieties, whether blended into butters or added to rich curries. Finally, we arrive at walnuts, often referred to as the brain nut due to their physical resemblance to the organ and their potent omega-3 content. Just 1 ounce offers protein, but more importantly, delivers alpha-linolenic acid, a plant-based omega-3 that reduces inflammation, supports heart health, and shields the brain. For seniors, this is critical because inflammation is a hidden catalyst for arthritis, heart disease, and muscle decline. Walnuts help soothe that internal fire, making them more than just a protein source. They act as natural anti-inflammatory medicine. Collectively, these 5 nuts offer a broad spectrum of benefits, including protein for muscle, antioxidants for cellular health, minerals for immunity, and healthy fats for the brain and heart. Each nut tells a unique story, but together they form a symphony of support for aging bodies. The strategy is not to select merely one, but to enjoy them in rotation to ensure your body receives a wide variety of nutrients. By weaving them into daily meals, seniors can nourish not only their physical bodies, but also their self-assurance. The lesson is simple yet profound. Muscle loss and pervasive fatigue are not inevitable consequences of aging. With a small handful of these nuts daily, you can protect your strength, soothe inflammation, and maintain your independence for a longer duration. Aging is not the cessation of vitality. It is simply the commencement of choosing foods that cooperate with your physiology rather than opposing it. For the majority of our lives, eggs and meat have been perceived as the ultimate sources of dietary protein. A fried egg at breakfast or a portion of chicken at dinner felt like the most assured method to remain robust. However, after age 60, the manner in which our bodies process these specific foods begins to change. Stomach acid production decreases with advancing age, and dense animal proteins become increasingly difficult for the digestive system to break down effectively. What once felt energizing now often leaves older adults experiencing bloating, a sense of heaviness, or unexpected fatigue post-meal. In the United States, the tradition of bacon and eggs is a familiar comfort, yet many seniors quietly admit feeling sluggish an hour later. Doctors remind us that the cholesterol and saturated fats on that plate can place additional strain on an aging cardiovascular system. In India, rich dinners of meat curries or fried cheese led to similar problems, often disturbing sleep and leaving the body restless throughout the night. The common thread is that eggs and meat provide protein but lack fiber to ease digestion and anti-inflammatory compounds to protect joints. With age, the absence of these supportive nutrients becomes more noticeable, and meals that once felt nourishing now demand more physiological effort than they return. This can be discouraging for those who grew up believing animal protein was the bedrock of strength. But it is not about abandoning familiar foods entirely. It is about making shrewder choices that suit the body you inhabit today. And nuts offer that necessary balance. They provide steady protein, gentle digestion, and valuable minerals that soothe inflammation. A handful at the appropriate time can replace heaviness with comfort and remind you that your body still responds beautifully when fed wisely. After the age of 60, the stomach naturally produces significantly less acid, sometimes up to 40% less than in earlier years. This quiet physiological shift makes it more difficult for the body to deconstruct dense animal proteins such as eggs or meat. Foods that once felt light and satisfying can suddenly leave you with digestive discomfort or a lingering, heavy sensation long after the meal has concluded. Many older adults dismiss this merely as aging, but it is actually a signal that digestion is operating differently now. Eggs remain a high-quality protein, but when the stomach cannot digest them fully, the benefits do not reach your muscles efficiently, often resulting in gas or fatigue. Nuts, conversely, behave very differently within the digestive tract thanks to their natural fiber, healthy fats, and plant-based structure. They release protein more slowly and gently, allowing the body to absorb amino acids at a steady pace without overwhelming the stomach. Think of eggs as a giant delivery truck dropping all materials at once, whereas nuts are smaller trucks arriving throughout the day with exactly what your muscles need. This steady delivery helps muscles rebuild more effectively, keeping you strong and stable as you age. The quiet lesson here is simple. If animal proteins make you feel heavy, it is not weakness, but your body requesting a different approach. Nuts offer a practical solution that respects the changes of aging while still protecting strength. One of the hidden challenges of aging is the slow rise of chronic inflammation within the body. It manifests quietly as stiff joints in the morning, muscle soreness that lingers longer than it used to, or fatigue that feels difficult to shake off. While eggs and meat provide protein, they do little to ease this inflammation or supply the minerals aging bodies desperately need. Nuts, on the other hand, offer a unique combination of protein, healthy fats, and protective nutrients that go far beyond simple muscle repair. Walnuts are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which can help reduce muscle pain and soothe joint inflammation. Brazil nuts contain selenium, a powerful antioxidant mineral that helps slow down muscle aging and protects against oxidative stress. Cashews are naturally high in zinc, vital for immune function and supporting muscle growth, while almonds bring vitamin E to protect muscle cells. Pecans round out the list with high antioxidant levels, helping to fight the damage that accumulates over time. For many seniors, the greatest worries are arthritis pain, rising cholesterol, or general weakness from nutrient gaps. Almonds and nuts speak to these concerns powerfully. They lower inflammation, improve circulation, stabilize energy, and fill in the missing minerals that animal proteins cannot provide. The lesson is clear. Where eggs stop at protein, nuts go further by fighting inflammation and supplying essential minerals for aging with strength. Science has begun to confirm what many older adults quietly discover for themselves, which is that nuts can make a real difference in daily strength. In a large study, seniors who ate nuts regularly lowered their risk of physical disability significantly, which means the difference between climbing stairs confidently or needing assistance. Another trial found that participants eating just a small handful of mixed nuts daily saw meaningful improvements in grip strength and walking speed. These benefits are not locked away in laboratories, but are within reach in everyday kitchens. A handful of nuts is more than a snack. It is a quiet investment in strength, mobility, and dignity. One of the main reasons many older adults hesitate to eat nuts is the fear of unwanted weight gain. Nuts do contain calories, but research shows that their healthy fats and fiber help you feel full for longer, reducing the urge to snack on less healthy options. In fact, people who eat nuts regularly often maintain a healthier weight than those who avoid them entirely. Another common belief is that plant proteins are incomplete and inferior for building muscle. While a single nut may not have every amino acid in perfect balance, your body draws from a pool over the entire day. And combining nuts with other foods easily provides a complete profile. The third misunderstanding is that nuts are difficult to digest, but studies show they are generally well tolerated by older adults, especially if roasted or eaten as nut butter. The truth is that nuts are not the enemy of your health. They are one of the simplest, most accessible allies you have. One of the simplest ways to protect muscle strength after 60 is to make eating nuts a daily habit. Experts recommend roughly a small handful each day, which delivers a steady supply of protein, minerals, and healthy fats that your body quietly craves. To keep things interesting, rotate different nuts through the week, choosing almonds and cashews on some days, and walnuts and pecans on others, and saving pistachios and peanuts for weekends. This small rotation ensures your body receives a wider spectrum of nutrients while keeping your meals from becoming repetitive. There are countless ways to weave nuts into foods you already love, from adding them to breakfast cereal to keeping a small bag handy for a snack. The key is convenience, so pre-portion your nuts so you never feel overwhelmed or tempted to overeat, keeping them invisible and easy to reach. Remember that this is not about perfection. Even if you miss a day, simply begin again the next morning. At this stage of life, every choice you make about food carries extra weight for your health and independence. Nuts offer one of the simplest, most effective ways to give your body the protein it needs in a form that is gentle to digest and powerful against inflammation. You do not need to give up the foods you have always enjoyed, but think of nuts as companions that work alongside your meals to keep you stronger. For many older adults, the thought of losing strength feels like an invisible worry that is not always spoken aloud. The good news is that change does not require drastic measures, and a single handful of nuts a day can become a natural ritual. You have cared for others all your life. Now let this simple habit care for you, nourishing your muscles day after day. I encourage you to try it for just 7 days by adding nuts to your daily routine and noticing the difference in how you feel. If today's message spoke to you, I would love to hear from you in the comments with the word HOPE, so others know they are not alone.